let's go over the second topic. If you guys are unaware, Smash JT and Grums apparently just recently put out a post and a video, I believe, talking about the fact that Corin Bush has decided to leave BioWare. So let me show you guys the tweet really quick. Now, this is a tweet from Grums, but Smash JT also put out a tweet. And it says, leak. Corin Bush, game director of Dragon Age: The Veilguard, has left BioWare and EA. BioWare Edmonton, the Veilguard studio, is going to be shuttered. The farewell email was shared with me, and I verified him leaving with Smash JT's contacts at EA/BioWare. The rumor that goes with this is that the Edmonton offices of BioWare will be shuttered in February, just before the EA town hall for investors and gamers. It's sad that after completely destroying the game with DEI trans scars and terrible characters in writing, that the game director responsible for it all bails and leaves everyone else holding the bag. These people often fail upwards through a woke studio system, bent on promoting activists instead of great developers, and sad. And he says this is our first collab. So we have an email here. This is the leaked. Tiger King says it's not a she. No, it's not a she. Corin Bush is a fucking dude. It's a dude. I thought we knew this. So this is the leaked email here. Let's check it out. So from Corin Bush, it says, hail, hail all. Jesus, I'm talking like I'm in the chat right now. Hail all. Hey all. Hard to believe I'm writing these words. It's not hard at all, actually. It's very believable. We kind of all saw this coming a mile away. Hard to believe I'm writing these words, but here it goes. It's time for me to say goodbye. Today is my last day at BioWare and EA. Keep in mind, this person has been with EA and BioWare, mainly EA, since The Sims 4 came out. So he's been with BioWare for a while. He's the reason why The Sims 4 has trans scars in it later down the line, because he advocated for putting it in the game, and then he gets his own game. How does he go from advocating for The Sims 4 to taking control over Dragon Age: The Veilguard is beyond me, but he must have sucked a really good dick. I really don't know. Anyway, it's time for me to say goodbye. Today's my last day. After so much contemplation, I've decided to pursue a new challenge and a new project, doing what I love most, making RPGs. How much you want to bet? How much you want to bet that this person, whenever they say after much contemplation, I've decided to pursue another challenge, how much you want to bet they were forced out? Seriously, how much do you want to bet? I guarantee you Corin Bush, just like Alyssa Mercante, how Alyssa Mercante, she lied about leaving on her own accord. I guarantee you Corin Bush was also removed by BioWare, most likely. A forced resignation. Because BioWare does not want to have the negative press of firing a trans person. Let's be real. Especially after the failure of Dragon Age: Veilguard, they do not want the negative press. So they probably made a deal, paid out Corin Bush on his contract completely, which will probably be some really good money, and said, you need to leave. And that's basically it. They said, we're gonna take the loss and you need to leave. That's what I imagine happened in this situation. I have no proof of that. I'm just saying, in my opinion, that's most likely what happened. Then he says, it wasn't an easy decision, as I mean it when I say I love BioWare, the Dragon Age team, and what we all accomplished together. My time with all of you has been the highlight of my career. I want to offer my personal thanks to each of you for your trust, your companionship, and for many ways in which you've inspired me and helped me grow. I'll be eagerly waiting to see what great experiences you create next. And as a fan, I'll be rooting for you. But she won't be buying the game, though. Or he won't be buying the game. Guaranteed. Because like they all do, they don't actually buy the game. They'll be asking for a free review code. Please give me a free review code. If I could leave you with any advice, it's this. We all know making games is hard. It's part of why we do it. But making games is also about the people and the reliance we have on one another. So take the time to celebrate the wins and lift each other up. The challenge and the work will always be there, but the moments we have with each other are precious and few. Let's stay in touch, Corin. Wow. So again, all they care about is making each other feel happy. This is what toxic positivity looks like. This is why when I was going off on people who want me to agree with them just for the sake of agreeing with them, I can never do that because that is literal toxic positivity bullshit, and I'm not going to partake in it. If I feel like you're wrong, you're wrong. And in this situation, they're not like that. They're going to constantly try to pretend as if it's never their fault, that they did everything they could, that making games is really hard. And thus, everything they did to make it even harder, just ignore that, right? He says, thank you for your trust, companionship, and for the many ways in which he aspired to help them grow. But those people that had their trust in you, you betrayed them. You betrayed them by making them advocate for shit that you must have known was going to make selling this game very difficult. Perhaps you thought because Dragon Age was such a popular IP that you were too big to fail, but you learned very quickly that that's not the case. That's not the case, right? So, and then companionship, again, it goes back to the first thing I said. You betrayed their companionship by making them advocate for shit like that. So again, I think this is terrible advice to leave your team with. I think at this point, if Edmonton actually stays around, which according to Grums and Smash JT, it's not going to. But if it does actually, get let go, then at this point, I'm slightly more confident about Mass Effect 5. Not completely. I want to reiterate, not completely, because let's be real, BioWare allowed this to happen. If BioWare is shifting, then that's one thing, but we're not going to know that until the game comes out. So at this point, I'm still keeping them at an arm's length. However, if Corin Bush is gone and everybody involved with that studio gets shuttered, then that is slightly good news towards the effect of Mass Effect 5. Slightly. Very, very slightly. But again, hold it with a grain of salt. It doesn't mean anything right now. Just hold them at an arm's length because BioWare still let this shit happen to begin with, which means there's still people at BioWare that believe in this ideology. There's still people. If you want to know what woke gay shit is in a video game, look no further. Look no further. If you have any confusion as to what real woke shit in a video game is, look no further. This is it. When I say wokeness in video games and woke gay shit in video games, this is it. You cannot compare something like this to well-written gay characters or well-written characters that happen to be gay. You cannot compare them. They are two completely different things. They are not even the same stratosphere. And I understand there are some people out there that don't want to make that distinction because it's too difficult for them to handle mentally. I totally understand. If you're a little retarded, that's okay. We will help you to the best of our ability. But there is a distinction to be made between characters. Take every game objectively and look at it and truly see whether or not it's woke bullshit or not. This game is woke bullshit. Even the progressives called it woke, which is crazy. Even the progressive people called this game woke. So you got to make that distinction. And if you don't want to make that distinction, then that's okay. But at this point, then you're just partaking in tribalism. It is what it is. Call me soft. I don't give a fuck. I really don't care. So now I'm happy to report that this seems to be true. That now we have the removal of Corin Bush, and this is a long time coming. And at the end of the day, it is a beautiful thing to witness. It really is. And now we just need to wait for confirmation of whether or not the studio is closing. If the studio is closing, that's great news. If the studio is not closing, that means the employees that were all down for this shit are now getting put into Mass Effect 5, which is what I thought was happening anyway. I thought that was happening anyway. But to what extent, I don't know. I guess we'll find out. We'll find out. So shout out again to Smash JT and Grums for this discovery. That's fantastic. You also, check this out. So really quick, Smash JT reached out to his insider to get a confirmation about this. And the insider responded with this: "Hey, Jeff, Corin is indeed gone. The current rumor is that they will announce the closure of BioWare Edmonton sometime around February, just before the Electronic Arts Town Hall. Basically, what EA talks about what has been going on for the last fiscal year and what's next. Her account was deactivated. Good riddance. Time for that DEI bullshit to end." So even the insider over at BioWare, somebody who worked with Corin Bush, is confirming that he is indeed gone. So adios. It's at this point, he got fucked. And he's going to take the fall, as a director should. He's the director of this video game. He should take the fall. Simple as that. Everybody should, but if anybody's going to be the figurehead of taking the fall, it should be him. So good riddance, and hopefully, I already know what I'm about to say is not true. I was going to say hopefully he doesn't show up in another studio, but let's be honest, he's going to get a job in like a week. I guarantee you. Unless he takes a vacation with his severance pay, but he's going to get a job in a week. Easily.